You know, at the end of the day, if Bitcoin goes into a 5-year bear market, maybe nobody survives. All right, welcome to Talkin Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I have another top 5 list for you. I want to go through the top 5 Bitcoin miners that I think are most likely to survive a crypto winter. So this is one of the most requested videos that I've been getting. Who's going to survive a crypto winter if this thing keeps going? Who's going to fail? So these are my top 5 that I think are most likely to survive. I do think you guys should stick to the end because I think you're going to be surprised, if not shocked, by at least one of the names on this list. But this is the way I've put it together, and I've tried to factor in everything that I can. So if you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody could please smash the like button, it helps the channel out a lot. And lastly, you can join the channel and get some additional content by hitting the join button on the YouTube page, and you'll become a member, and you'll get some members-only content. And we also do a members-only live stream once a week, so we did that last night, and it was a lot of fun. All right, let's get to the top 5 Bitcoin miners that I think will survive a crypto winter. These are the companies, if the next 6 to 12 months are difficult and Bitcoin is still struggling, these are the 5 that I think have the best chance to make it to the other side of that. So I want to reiterate, this is not my top 5 Bitcoin miners. I have not put that list out yet. I've put several top 5 lists out. The last one I'm going to do is my top 5 overall Bitcoin miners that I think represent the best investments. Again, not financial advice, but that's going to be my top 5. Okay, top 5 to survive. Let's go. Okay, number 1, HUT. So HUT 8. I've assessed them with a risk of low. All of the Bitcoin miners are higher risk stocks, and you can see that by their massive volatility. But within the industry of Bitcoin mining companies, I've broken this into categories of low, medium, and high risk, inside of the fact that they're all already very high risk companies. So on the spectrum, I rate HUT as low inside the industry. They're currently trading at $1.86. Their book value is $509 million. Their market cap is $361 million. So they're trading at 0.7 book value. So there was a lot of factors I used to pick my top 5, and I will tell you, there were 3 that ended up just on the outside. So there were 3 runner-ups, but I feel pretty comfortable about my top 5 that I've finished with. For all of these companies, this is going to be the data as of June 30th, 2022. That's the most recent report issued financially for all these companies. This is the latest and greatest information, and I've tried to take it into account through press releases if anybody's had any fundamental changes. So, okay, so their current assets are $254.9 million. Their current liabilities are $24 million. That's an 11-to-1 current ratio of current assets to current liabilities. So this is a big one for me. When you start getting 11-to-1, that is exceptionally solid. Most companies sit somewhere between a 1-to-1 and a 3-to-1 ratio. When you're under 1-to-1, it's turning into a problem. This is 11-to-1. In addition to that, you'll see HUT only has $19 million of long-term debt. So this is a company that has $254 million of current assets. So they have very few current liabilities, and they have very few long-term liabilities. So this is a company that is set up to weather the storm. And in addition to all that, they have their high-performance computing data centers that bring income in supplementally. So that even further extends their ability to cash flow themselves through whatever crypto winter may still remain in. So I have HUT solidly in first place. Okay, in second place, I have Riot Blockchain. So Riot, again, I put as a low risk relative to its peers in the industry. So it's trading at $5.72 right now. Riot's book value is $1.288 billion. Its market cap is $956 million. They're also trading at approximately 0.7 book to market cap value. So that is low. Anything under a 1 is low. Many healthy companies, mostly you're going to see 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. So if you're under a 1-to-1, that means the market has deeply, deeply discounted your company. For Riot, you're going to see current assets of $496 million, current liabilities of $100 million. So they're a larger scale company, but that's still a ratio of 5-to-1. So that is outstanding. So that really puts into perspective with HUT being at 11-to-1, just how extraordinary that is, because Riot is at 5-to-1, and I consider that outstanding. Another thing Riot has done well is they have zero long-term debt. So a lot of these Bitcoin mining companies have been compiling debt. They chose to do debt versus equity. At one point, the market was very frustrated with these companies that were doing dilution and raising money through equity. However, now I think in reflection and in retrospect, those companies are in a much, much, much better place than the companies that have 100 million or 500 million or $1 billion in debt, because they've got to service that debt and it puts them in a very difficult position from liquidity standpoint. So remember, this list is about liquidity. Who can stay liquid the longest? Because that's your ability to survive a crypto winter. We may be 1 month away from the end of this bear market and go on a run, but we may be 6 months away. We may be a year away. So the question is, who has the liquidity to get to the other side? Who can go the longest? So this is kind of the order that I'm putting this list in. These are the companies that have the best chance. So Riot's a very strong number 2 in my opinion. Okay, number 3 I think might surprise a lot of people. Number 3 is actually Bit Digital, stock ticker BTBT. I have done a few videos. I rarely talk about them. This is not a company that's in high growth mode. They have had to reorganize their business quite a bit over the last year and a half and move all of their servers out of China. They're still not done getting their exahash back up to where it was a year and a half ago. So from that standpoint, their business isn't necessarily where they want it to be. However, from a liquidity standpoint, this is an unbelievably healthy company. So again, I put their risk at low relative to the others in the industry. They're trading at $1.01. They're at their all-time low right now. Their book value is $171.9 million. Their market cap is $83 million. So they're trading at 0.5 their book value. Okay, current assets, $78 million in current assets. Most of that is cash. Current liabilities, $4 million. This is a 19-to-1 current ratio. I mean, this is absolutely off the charts. In addition to that, you'll see long-term debt, 0. So although this company has struggled to produce Bitcoin, their Bitcoin production has been frustrating. They do not make my top 10 list in Bitcoin producers. So I know that's a disappointment for them this year. They expected to be further ahead of where they are. But financially speaking, from a liquidity standpoint and from an ability to survive standpoint, this company is in excellent condition. So again, this is all depending on your risk tolerance. If you're looking for companies that are, maybe lower reward, but lower risk, this is that list. Some of these companies I think are going to have very high rewards, but Bit Digital might be one that it takes them a while to get on track. However, you can see, they've got a 19-to-1 current ratio and no long-term debt. This is a company that's in a very good financial situation. Okay, coming in at number 4, I have Hive Blockchain. Hive is another one that I've assessed as a low risk versus its peers. That doesn't mean it's no risk. I want to remind everybody, the Bitcoin miners are very high risk investments. This is just the risk that I've assessed relative to their peers in the Bitcoin mining industry. So their current price is at $3.16. They're not at their all-time low. I think it's in the high 2s, like maybe $2.85. They are trading at approximately their book value. Their book value is 259.9, so they're right on track from that perspective. Current assets of almost $91 million, current liabilities of $29 million. So that leaves them with a current ratio of 3-to-1. So that is the lowest on this entire list, but 3-to-1 is still a very strong current ratio. And then when you look at their long-term debt, they only have $18 million of long-term debt. So their current assets are greater than their current liabilities and their long-term debt put together. So for that reason, I believe they have a lot of liquidity left, and I believe they could survive for a significant period of time, even if the crypto winter or bear market continues. So we know Hive is going through some changes. They are now switching to Bitcoin mining only for the most part. They do have a lot of GPUs. I'm not sure what they're going to do with those, whether they're going to move over to high performance computing or if they're going to try and mine some other assets that are, less profitable than Ethereum was. But obviously, Ethereum has switched to proof of stake, so they can no longer mine Ethereum. So this company is going through some changes, but I don't think that affects their liquidity or their ability to survive in a crypto winter. So I have them at number 4. Okay, that just leaves one more. I will tell you, 5, 6, 7, and 8 were very close, but number 5, at the end of the day, I think this one stood out, and they are number 5. Okay, so this one might also surprise a lot of people because of the amount of debt they have, but I'm going to go through that. So Marathon is my number 5. So I have no more companies listed as low compared to their competitors. We now move into the medium companies. The last list I put out, which is companies most likely to 5x, all of those were either medium or high risk companies. So, that's the different strategies are going to put you on different lists. So they're trading at $11.35. That is way off of their 52-week low. This stock got down to $5. So they're actually in the reverse situation of everybody else on this list. They have a book value of $659 million. They have a market cap of $1.3 billion. So they're trading at twice their book value. So you can see there's a pretty big drop off from 4 to 5. And that's why 5, 6, 7, and 8 were very close. And then I will tell you there's another big gap after that. Okay, so current assets, $362 million. Current liabilities, $90 million. That's essentially a 4-to-1 current ratio. So that's very, very strong. You'll see it's actually stronger than Hive's. Hive is 3-to-1 and Marathon is 4-to-1. But I did put Hive ahead of them because of the next situation. You're going to see their long-term debt, $730 million. So you would think that would exclude them from being on this list at all, because that is a monumental amount of debt. But I need to go to the financial statements and the footnotes, because this is convertible debt, and the way it's structured is unbelievably advantageous to Marathon, in my opinion. I'm in footnote 8 on their most recent financial statements. On November 18th, 2021, the company issued $650 million principal amount of 1% convertible senior notes due in 2026. So those are the two key things. This is 1%, which means this is not some gigantic burden for them to carry. 1% is an incredibly good rate, and it's because it's convertible senior debt. The second piece is this isn't due until 2026, so they have 4 years before they have to come good on this debt. So that means their liquidity situation is not going to take a hit for the next 4 years other than servicing the 1% debt. So obviously, if between now and 2026, Bitcoin is still in a crypto winter, then I think at that point the Bitcoin project has failed. That would be a cycle that we've never seen before. Not to say it can't happen. Obviously, this can happen. This is the top 5 most likely to survive, but we don't know what Bitcoin is going to do. So, at the end of the day, if Bitcoin goes into a 5-year bear market, maybe nobody survives. This gives Marathon until 2026 before they need to be in a position where this debt either converts to equity or they have to repay it. And then you'll see they did take an option for the additional $97 million of principal on top of that. So that now leaves them with $730 million in long-term debt at 1%. So that carry cost of that debt at 1% is the only reason they're on this list, and it's what edged them ahead of a few other companies that were also medium risk. And this 4-to-1 current ratio is still very, very strong. We really get a big, big drop off. All of the rest of the Bitcoin miners, their current ratio goes down to 2-to-1 or less than 2-to-1. Those that are at a 1-to-1 or less than 1-to-1 are potentially in trouble if this crypto winter continues. So that's it. That is my top 5 list of companies most likely to survive. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think any of these don't belong on this list? Do you have other ones that you would put on this list? And or give me your top 5 or your top 3 that you think are going to survive, in the no matter what type of a situation. So again, the final countdown: Hut number 1, Riot number 2, Bit Digital number 3, Hive number 4, and Marathon number 5. So that's it. That's all I got for you on this one. Thanks so much for watching, and recommend a top 5 below. If there's a top 5, another type of top 5 list you'd like to see, let me know what that is, because I have a lot of data compiled. So there's a lot more of these lists that I have. So let me know what you want and I will share. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.